So my brother called and complained about putting up a video on assembling these router bits and not showing them actually in use. So here's the follow-up. Alright, so I already built the side with the drawers. So this side is going to just be a cabinet door for the computer, and I'm using a 2-inch face frame. This was a 1x6 oak stock that I ripped down to 2 inches and then cut to height, and this is the top and bottom for the width. And now I need to drill the pocket holes to mount these all together, and then I will route the tongue and groove. So using a pocket hole jig is really easy. You just clamp your piece in there and the jig holds the drill bit. The only note is that when you want to set your stop about 1/8 of an inch off the bottom, because you don't actually want to drill all the way through the wood. So I'm only going to do pocket holes on the top and the bottom. I don't want to do any on the up and down, the verticals. And just for fun, I will note, you know, there's not a whole lot of tear out here. You know, if you know where this product's from, people complain about the tear out. If I had to guess, their tear out was probably bad because they were using a cordless, you know, a battery operated drill, where I'm using, you know, a real one that actually has power to be able to drill at this angle. But the tear out really isn't that bad. It's nothing I have to touch up or do any extra work for. Now the reason I put the pocket holes in before I route is because I'm going to put in a groove, you know, right here for the base. So this is the bottom piece, this is the top. So when I put the plywood up against this, it will fit into that groove. But I don't want to route all the way out, because otherwise you'll just destroy the integrity of these pockets. So I'm only going to route from here to here, and then when I do the tongue on the plywood, I'm actually going to notch this section out, so just right here will actually fit into the groove. So on the sides, I'm actually going to run a groove the entire length of it, and I'm going to make sure it's on the outside. So I'll put the good side out. You know, there's a couple burn marks from my table saw, so that'll be on the inside, and then the plywood will fit right up against this and be flush with this outside edge. So I'm going to run the groove on this side. And so I don't forget, I'll mark that. And then same with this one. I got the burns on this side, so this will be my outside edge. I need to make sure that they're opposite. I made that mistake with the drawers. I actually had to run another groove, and so I ended up with a groove on each side. So if this is my left front, and then I want the burns on the inside of this one as well. So this will be my right front. So my groove needs to be over here. And then the top, I don't need any grooves because it's just going to be open, and then I'll put a tabletop or a countertop on top of it. So I'm going to start by putting the groove bit in. And like I said in the other video, I put a couple of O-rings down here. So, you know, I just set it in there, nothing hard, and then tighten it down. And when the force of me tightening it down sucks the bit down into the chuck, those washers will the O-rings will compress, and they should compress the same. So if I take my tester, and it fits, you know, it fits right into the groove already, so I know I'm at the proper height. And then I'm going to bring my fence all the way forward, and then just push it till it rests on that bearing. Tighten it down, and that will give us the exact route we need. Since I am routing this way, I can take this off. There's my opening right here. So now comes the tricky part where I want to route in between the pocket holes. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set my bit to where it sticks out the farthest, and then I'm going to line that up about where it's at and just put a little line there. And then do the same thing on this side so I know don't go past those lines. Should be good. And that's what happens when you don't pull it away smooth. But as you can see, I didn't ruin the integrity of these pocket holes, and I still have my groove to make sure that my plywood will line up straight when it's on the base. Luckily, you'll barely be able to see that nick when I pulled it away, but oh well. So I need to cut some plywood. My height is 27 inches and my depth is 17 inches, but because it's going to be going into here, I need to cut it 1/4 inch bigger. So it's actually I'm going to cut it 27 by 17 1/4. So because working with 3/4 inch plywood sucks because it is heavy. Normally I used to cut everything on my table saw and just fight with it. But I saw these on TV. I wanted to give it a try. They're awesome. So I'm measuring from the blade cutter tip, and it's 4 3/8. So I add 4 3/8 to 27 inches. 27, 1, 2, 3, 4 3/8, which is 31 3/8 when you actually do the math right. So come over here, 31 3/8. Clamp it down and measure it again. 31 3/8. Move it off. Bring this one. 31 3/8. 31 3/8. Perfect. Alright, I moved stuff around because if I would have just cut it, I would have cut it in my table saw. So, and this side's being supported by a ladder. It'd be nice if I bought some of those roller supports, but I haven't yet, so oh well. So now I just set this to 17 1/4. And just run this through twice. Back to the router table. We're going to switch to the tongue bit. And again, just going to drop it down until it hits those. There you go. Put the two together and they're flush. You know, there's a little tiny bit of play, but you can make sure that it lines up. And you just put glue on all the surfaces and clamp it together once your face frame is put together, and you're all set.